This conference will now be recorded.
Great. Welcome, everyone, to the next Technology Review Council session. And we are very, very pleased today to have Devin Martin and his cohorts from Wellness.Work. I had the privilege of meeting Devin through the world of LinkedIn. He was in the process of launching the product, and a couple of, I think I started with David, and we got to talking, and I was very enthused with what I see. So today, I think you're going to be very entertained. Devin is certainly willing to take the questions, and we will all have questions, I'm sure, and comments at the end. So, Devin, you are on.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the introduction there, Nov. I, as well as everybody else on my team, we're very excited to have this opportunity to present our product to you today. My name is Devin. I'm one of the founders of Wellness.Work. Like Nov said, I believe in interactive demos, so I will be pausing throughout the demo here to have some chances for Nov to ask some questions that are popped into the chat box. So please ask questions along the way, and I will take time to pause and answer questions to keep everybody up to speed. I'm going to actually turn off my camera here to save on the bandwidth, just so we don't have any internet issues. And we're just going to focus here on the presentation. Okay, so let's start off with a little bit of our background here. Wellness.Work is the newest member of our software suite. Before Wellness.Work, my partners and I launched our first software platform called Challenge Me back in 2018. Our major focus with Challenge Me was fitness engagement, especially within the competitive fitness industry. We launched an app that made it easy for gyms, trainers, and fitness competitions around the world to deploy interactive fitness challenges. So basically, a gym, a competition could launch a challenge, and they can invite people into that challenge. People can submit their scores, and it would automatically create a leaderboard and a friendly competition. We like to joke around and say that our real claim to fame was that we were the #1 fitness app in Hungary for a brief moment in time, but nobody's keeping track of that. So along the way, we picked up some recognition. We had the opportunity to be published in Forbes, Men's Journal, Men's Health, and several other fitness-related publications. All of this while maintaining a near perfect rating in the App Store. So we also had the opportunity of working with Team USA Weightlifting, which is one of the most prestigious, popular Olympic sports. Before Challenge Me, before our software, they were running their events in person through emails, and they were managing everything with ridiculously complicated spreadsheets. When we deployed their online event, we gave them the never before seen ability for athletes to remotely compete by taking footage in their garage or in their gyms, entering the results into our application, and being automatically calculated into a leaderboard. Because we provided this software and these mobile applications, we produced a massive success for Team USA Weightlifting. We had a 772% increase in participation alone from the previous years to today. So obviously, I'm not here to talk about Challenge Me. I'm here to talk about Wellness.Work. And how did we get into the corporate wellness scene? Well, our journey with Challenge Me resulted in us having tens of thousands of users on our platform. And a lot of our users were actually wellness directors. So we had several wellness directors reach out to us asking if they could use our platform to push their wellness content to their employees. So we like to say that when the market speaks, we listen. So one of the wellness directors gave us an audience with a Fortune 500 company. And through that meeting, we realized several things. One, there was definitely a need in the market for a corporate wellness solution. Two, our Challenge Me software solved a lot of the problems, but it wasn't quite the all-in-one solution for corporate wellness. And three, we needed to do more research. So we went on a discovery journey. We sat down with several wellness directors to figure out what would be the best solution. And through these conversations, we found some common themes of their wants and needs. They all wanted to run an efficient wellness program. They wanted to make their lives a little bit easier by leveraging the right type of technology. They wanted to make sure that their program was easily accessible and engaging to their employees. All of them had the same belief that they wanted to build healthy community and company culture within their organization. So from the top down, they wanted to have something that their leadership could buy into, all the way down to the janitors in their company, to help foster a happier, healthier, and more productive workforce. They wanted to have the ability of being provided with analytic reporting, both to show engagement and show that their wellness program is working, as well as sharing this information with insurance companies to help offset the financial liabilities for that the benefit managers deal with on the day in and day out. Most importantly, they all wanted to make a high impact on their employees' health and lifestyle. So these were some common themes that we came across with all these wellness directors. We also realized that they all had similar typical barriers, like the organizations that we worked with on Challenge Me's side of the business. So all of these wellness directors were having issues with email communication, having to send hundreds of emails to communicate individually with people on what's going on with the wellness program, and they were all tracking their data, employee data, with massively complicated spreadsheets. So again, we're seeing some patterns from the competitive fitness industry and running into the corporate wellness industry. Another thing that we saw was corporate wellness directors were running multiple different apps to do their type of fitness event. So, we saw the story over and over again. A wellness director's gets approached by their leadership and says, we need to do a step challenge. We need to do something. So they get a step challenge app. They download it. They get all their employees onboarded. They run it for a short period of time. And then now that app becomes obsolete because they're not running that competition anymore. Well, now they want to do a weight loss challenge. So they get a weight loss app. There's multiple different apps out there that were promoting themselves to be the solution for those fitness challenges. So naturally, it was very frustrating at all levels. And they were all very frustrated with the emails, the spreadsheets, the multiple different apps. And we believed that it shouldn't be that difficult to implement a wellness program or an incentivized fitness challenge for a business. It should not be difficult for the wellness coordinator, and it should not be difficult for the employees to understand and engage. So with all of those things, we went through several different cycles of designing, prototyping, working with these wellness directors, getting feedback, and we came to market with Wellness.Work, which is a web application for admins to manage their program, as well as mobile apps that are accessible to employees. So with that, I will actually go into the demo portion of this. I'm going to start off on the admin panel first to show how easy it is to manage the program, and then I'll tie in my mobile phone and show the mobile app version that we can run through and see what the employee version is. Before I get into that, I just want to stop, pause, see if anybody has any questions about anything that I just covered, about our backstory, or if you've seen us around or anything like that.
So I'm going to transfer this over to you then, Devin, and make the other Devin the presenter. Any questions that anyone has for Devin so far? So as you talked about the admin piece being on the web, and you've got mobile apps. Let me back up. So the web administration situation, can I pass that out to a number of different people? So in other words, people who might be in certain charges of the challenges or stuff like that, so that they can manage that. I could see somebody in the benefits world saying, that's great, except I don't want to run the whole thing. And to your point about earlier, you want to make it easy. So maybe when we get to looking at the analytics on the backside of that, if you can talk to, how can I spread the wealth, if you will, of the data and so on, and still keep an eye on things?
Right. Yeah. We built the system to support multiple different admins to come in and help manage and communicate and support here. Really quick note, I need you to go back and because I need to present from my laptop. So if you can
Oh,
do
my
me,
apologies. Okay,
okay.
let me go back to that one. Be a nice idea to get the right one. Sorry. That put you back
Okay.
in charge?
There we go.
Good deal. Okay,
All right. Can
there
you
we go.
guys see
Yep,
my screen?
all there. Thank you.
Okay. So when you create an account with Wellness.Work, this is the administrative dashboard. This is the first screen that an admin sees when they log in. Now we built the Wellness.Work platform to serve two different types of businesses. There are businesses that have wellness coordinators and wellness directors on staff, and there are businesses that believe in wellness programs but don't have a wellness coordinator or director on staff. And we have provided a solution for both of those groups of people. So as I go through this demonstration, I'm going to go through the different features and speak to both parties as it makes sense. So as you can see here on the main screen, we have a nice little welcome message. We can see that today is July 30th, 2020. We have a total of 7 team members and 9 daily actions in the system. This total team members is merely all of the employees that you have sent invites out to that have registered their account, downloaded the app, and logged into the system. As we scroll down here, we're starting to see things as, the daily workout, daily nutrition, and best self. These three things right here is the core features of our wellness program. Every day we schedule out a daily workout, daily nutrition, and best self. The daily workout is it's basically some type of fitness workout that has a performance metric associated with it, whether it's time, reps, weight, or for completion. Not every workout needs to have a leaderboard based on who finished the workout first. You can simply just have an option for them to say for completion. Daily nutrition is a part of the mobile experience where we can give nutritional recipes on what's down at the cafeteria on campus, if you have a cafeteria on campus, what's a good healthy option for you to produce, or some at-home snacks since we have a lot of remote workers at home. You can give nice recipes that people can have as an alternative, as a healthy alternative for their daily eating habits. The best self section is really a piece of content that we left it open for the leadership of companies to communicate motivational messages to their employees. So this could be anything about mental health. It could be about recovery, getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, making sure you're stretching, doing yoga, whatever. We left it open to companies to have the liberty to communicate the type of motivational message that they would want to their employees. To again, these three things is to make your employee base happier, healthier, and more productive.
Devin, this is Nov. Just a very quick question. So, knowing that most of these would certainly be a remote work or work from home situation, do you have daily workouts that would continue the idea of getting up and stretching, walking around the block, whatever the case is? Do you have things that are geared for that as well?
Yeah, all of the workouts that we have pre-programmed into the Wellness.Work library are workouts that can be done in an office environment or at home.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, so we have fitness trainers on staff and nutritionists on staff that are producing this content daily. Every day we're adding a new workout, new nutrition content. So we literally never run out of workouts. We're never going to run out of nutrition recipes. So again, if you're a company or a corporation that does not have a wellness director that's not doing these things automatically, you can sign up to Wellness.Work and you can deploy your own wellness program today. So we take that on, we produce the content, and our fitness trainers know that they need to create content that is suitable for the office environment or working out at home. Does that answer your question, Nov?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, great. So
I love what you said. You could employ it today, like right now.
Yeah, and we got something special at the end of this in case anybody wants to take us up on that. we'll get into that a little bit later at
Right.
the end of this demonstration.
Perfect.
So before I go any further, I want to bring some light to this green button here that says create notification. So as I talked about some of the barriers that these wellness directors were having with communication, sending a bunch of emails. Well, now that we have mobile apps in the pockets of all of our employees that are interacting with our wellness program, we have the ability to send out push notifications to all of our participating employees at once. So this literally eliminates a lot of the email communication when you want to send out updates for something that's important with the challenge that's going on, or if there's been updates to the fitness schedule at the gym on campus, or whatever it may be. Whatever you want to communicate, now you have the accessibility to communicate directly with your employees through their mobile app, which I think is super powerful, and we've gotten a lot of really positive feedback from that alone. We have companies that want to sign up with us because they want to have that communication tool, and the wellness is really an add-on, a positive to our relationship. So let me scroll down here. We can see that we're running a step challenge that goes until tomorrow. It's been going on since the 16th to the 31st. We can see some engagement analytics here. You can see, even with these pieces of content, you got likes, views, completed. We're showing likes, views, and completed for all interactive content. So this fitness challenge that we ran from the 16th to the 31st, we can see engagement analytics now. That was something that wasn't available without heavy manual calculations through spreadsheets and keeping tallies on all of your employees manually. So now we have a simple to understand. We can click on this. We can see the details. We can look at the leaderboard. We can see everybody that's participated. This is a bunch of our test content. We can see that Mr. David Mason here, he's got 5,500 step. He is #1. He's going to win the Olive Garden gift card for $100 for he and his wife to go out to eat. If the challenge ends tomorrow, that's the winner. We can see, Matt Mason only has 101 steps. Don't understand how that's possible, but we're gonna, reach out to him. We can add a comment and say, hey Matt, you need to step it up or whatever. Like that's not enough. Give a best try. And I can vote down. I can vote up. There's a lot of social engagement activity here that's happening that the community can get involved with. Okay, because again, Wellness.Work is the ability to deploy your own private wellness community. So we have a lot of social media features baked into here that once I go through the mobile app, you'll see like the communication, the interaction is all to foster a motivational, friendly, competitive environment with these fitness challenges and also with the workouts, nutrition, and best self.
So Devin, this is Nova again. One very quick question. The fact that let's not pick on Matt necessarily, but Matt's very low on the scores.
No, we can pick on him. That's my business.
Yeah. So my question then is, could I see Matt's involvement across multiple activities? It just seems that STEP might not be his forte, but he's excelling in these others. In other words, can I see him across the platform?
Right now, the only way that you're able to see engagement is if you actually click on the workout of the day. Gotcha. If Matt is participating on this workout, we can see him here. Okay. We currently do not have the ability to single out an employee and look at their engagement, but that is something that is on our product roadmap. What we wanted to launch with to make our product commercially viable, our MVP, we wanted to launch with these features first.
Yeah, but no, and that makes sense. Yeah, the only reason I really ask that is that quite literally from the standpoint that you set an engagement platform, and then that's a pretty key perspective that whether or not people are engaging, not just in the wellness, but just engaging with the employer and the environment and such. So to be able to look across activities and say, well, Matt's not a problem, but if Matt's low on everything, he's not very engaged. So that's, I think, maybe the only output of that makes any real sense then.
Right, and what I would say is that the benefit of the technology, the software that we created, is that we are tracking everything. So all of Matt's activities are being stored in our database right now. And what we're doing with the launch of our product is, we're just like we did before, we're going to let the market tell us what features are important to roll out. So anybody that signs up with us now and through the beginning of our journey here at becoming the best corporate wellness software in the world, we're really looking for that feedback. We're looking for clients to jump on board with us that can believe in what we're doing and provide that feedback so we can roll out the features that make the most sense in the future. So your feedback right there, Nov, is something that we've heard before, but we just, that's definitely something that we're going to be incorporating here in the future.
Great. And we do have another question here from Bonnie. Her question is, has COVID-19 and the idea of employee health changed the receptivity of this by potential clients? In other words, is this a much more accepted and maybe even sought after application? I'm sure you say the answer is yes, but I'm curious about your perception about whether COVID-19 has brought it harder to the service.
Let me add some comedic relief here. We had no idea, like, we started this way before COVID, and when COVID hit the United States, we were already in like final stages of development, and where everybody else was thinking that this was a bad thing, and obviously we believe COVID's a bad thing, but from a business perspective, our ability to deploy remote training, remote wellness software, I mean, we were like, wow, we came out with this at the right time to provide this software as a solution for these businesses to connect with their remote employees, because they need tools to connect with their employees as they work from home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, as I say, you talking about to an engagement platform, that's really, this is kind of a nice, subtle but meaningful bench check on how people are doing. And as you mentioned, we'll certainly get to this best self situation, but you've got mental health questions hanging out there as well that this helps to address. So that's cool.
Awesome. Okay, so this is really the overview here of administering the program for your company. So the last part is the engagement analytics. So this is kind of where we're starting in reporting the type of engagement that you're receiving. So we can see today for the daily workout, we had 1 like, 3 views, 1 completed, nutrition, daily best self. We can look back at last week, we can look back at last month and year to date. And these are real numbers that wellness directors, coordinators, or our wellness liaisons, that's what we're calling non-wellness director people that take on our program, they can take this information back to the leadership of the company and show, hey, we're getting results. What we're doing with this is, like, this is the start of our analytics, and we're going to be expanding this out as we grow as a company to where we can individualize this data, and we can make sure that it's secure and share this data with insurance companies in the future. And that is what's going to help us provide that information, like, to companies like Health IQ or places where they can see that performance data and understand that this person that is more active is a less of a liability on their insurance claims, so we can save some money in the long run. So this section, the analytics section, is something that's going to grow as we grow as a company, and that is definitely on our product roadmap where we're going to be going into that arena. But in the interim, this does give that clarity that these wellness directors were wanting to show of, am I getting engagement? Am I making an impact here? Well, if they can show that their workouts are getting liked every day and they're viewed and completed, then they can go back to their leadership and feel good about the program that they have. So I'm going to stop right there and open this up. If there's any questions on the screen that we have so far, if there's no questions, I can move on to the next. I'll give it a second here.
Let me see if the audience has any questions they want to just open up to. I did have one very, very quick question with regards. So certainly in the launching of the situation, you're in the early stages of gathering information, or will be. As time goes on, if I come to you, let's say a year from now, do you believe you can help me understand what are the most successful programs based on the fact that you've got a SaaS system and you're looking at several different clients and say, hey, we find out that maybe the initial program we want to start out with is something that's less intrusive than, weightlifting or something. I'm just kind of
Sure.
second guessing it, but this analytics really does help people, and you become the consultant in a sense of helping them understand how to maybe roll out a wellness program. Is that something that's
Yes.
in your
Yeah.
roadmap, if you will?
So
Okay.
what I would say is that we actually, as a company, we created our own super admin. So we have an admin that's looking at analytics across our entire system, and we will be able to tell popular trends over time as we get more users into the system, and we're able to collect that data and compile that information. So yes, we will be able to see that and then take what's working best for other companies and replicate that and implement that for other customers.
Outstanding. Cool. I'll just remind the audience that, as you mentioned, that towards the end of this, we'll pop up a screen that's got the free 30-day trial. So I'm an employee of one in my company, but I think this one employee could use some help. So that's a very. Let me quick question: is there a minimum population that you'd expect to be joining on this?
We have this program built to scale. So all of our systems are on Amazon Web Services. So it's the same servers that power Amazon.com. I believe even Facebook uses some of Amazon services as well. So we really can grow this to any size. Is that the question that we're?
Well, I was looking at the other end of that. In other words, if I'm a company of 20 people, but I'd still like to use it, especially with the work from home or remote work situation, is there a minimum that you would look at before you'd entertain bringing a client on?
Oh, no. I mean, you can be a company of 10 people and we would welcome you onto our platform. That's why we developed the content that we did, was to help the smaller companies that believe in wellness, that can't afford or don't have a wellness director on staff. So yes, I mean, we are definitely targeting small, medium to large and enterprise level engagements.
Outstanding. And I'm going to ask this question Noreen had put out there that, you ask it very nicely, and I'll put the context on. So, as an individual that I belong to this from company A, let's say I move to company B, will I carry my personal data with me to another company? In other words, I personally have registered, or am I coming in under the company email address?
So we've talked about this, and this was a part of our development conversations, and we're talking about personal private information. So the way that our billing works is the company is paying for the subscriptions, the company's paying for the licenses, okay? So as of right now, the way that we have it set up, the answer is no, but we do have future plans of having like a marketplace and having the ability to potentially open up to where individuals can take their account. If an individual works at company A and is moving to company B, and company B also has a Wellness.Work account, there will be some type of mechanism where they can transfer their data, because there's a lot of personalized tracking and information from their original engagement, their original company, that would be beneficial for them personally moving forward to the second company.
Okay.
So,
And I'll put a little plug for us contingent workers out in the crowd. If you allowed me to sign up with my non-company email, maybe my Gmail or something, but I'm still part of the employer might very well like the fact that I'm keeping myself healthy to do work for them, even as a contingent worker. So, and it could be a very, very important retention device. If I go to another company and I said, well, I'm sure you have Wellness.Work, right? Oh, no, we don't. What is that? Well, I'm not taking your job because I really liked what Wellness.Work was doing for me at my previous employer. So we're finding things of this nature, I'll call them perks for lack of a better term, are really becoming in aggregate, a very strong retention device. Ability to get a paycheck early, a wellness program of this nature. All those kind of things are making big differences in people's choices of moving from place to place.
Absolutely.
Noreen, did we answer your question? I think we did. I think we're good. Okay, Devin, sorry about that. It was a good question, and it just kind of leads to a couple of things out there. So
no, I love it. I love the interaction here, because that's
cool.
it's super important. So okay, so we have all this information here. Well, how easy is it for a wellness director, or wellness coordinator, or somebody just to manage or plan out the daily wellness content for their employees? Well, this is our content management calendar. So we can see that this is this week here, Monday through Friday, the 27th through the 31st. I can easily plan out content weeks in advance. So this is a feature that we've created, that this alone has gotten a lot of positive feedback on how easy it is to plan out the workouts and the nutrition in one place. So I'll show you exactly how easy it is to plan out a day. So we're going to go to next Monday, okay, the 3rd. I can't believe it's August 3rd already, but we're here. So we need a workout, we need nutrition, and we need a best self content. So I'm going to click on add a workout, and now I have an option. If I'm a wellness director and I'm producing my own high quality content and I'm pushing my own workouts, I can easily create a new workout and add it into the system by giving it a name, giving it details, and I have the ability to say, how is this workout going to be measured? Is it going to be measured by time, rounds, reps, weight, completion? Completion is really good because, like I said before at the beginning of the demo, the workouts can just be marked off as just completed, so it doesn't have to be a competition. We pull a lot of these metrics from our experience and success from the competitive fitness industry, and all this does is it provides the ability for people just to compare themselves to see where they're at with their peers. And what we found is that when we do that, it creates this social, motivational, like friendly, competitive environment where it pushes you to go a little bit farther, a little bit harder, just to push yourself a little bit. So we also have the ability to add divisions, so we can do first shift, second shift, third shift. We can create additional competition within departments. All of this is to make it more relatable to the social environment of the employee, and because it's fun to see your coworker Bob that you work with day in and day out. It's fun to see where, like, what he did with the workout and where I'm at. So yeah, I mean, it works out pretty well by creating that social environment. You also have the ability to add in Wellness.Work content. So you can see these workouts right here. We have, if you're not a wellness director or wellness coordinator, you can go all the way back to our first workout and just boom, select it. And right there, that workout's going to show up on the mobile app for the employees on Monday, as easy as that. You can also come in, you can select nutrition content that you've uploaded yourself as a wellness director, or you can use the Wellness.Work content from our nutritionist that's on staff. So it's as easy as plugging and playing here. Like, you can see that in a matter of 30, 45 seconds, I was able to create a wellness plan for Monday utilizing Wellness.Work content or content that I can create myself. And you can see that I'm selected on this day, so I can look at previous engagement, likes, views, completed, all of that through one easy to use panel. We also have the ability to create challenges too. Like, we can see that, let me go back here. We can see that the step challenge goes until Friday. Well, we can create an additional challenge that goes from Saturday to whatever day after the initial challenge, and that is the same process that I just showed on that workout creation screen. You select the metrics, you give it a title, you select what day it's going to run. The difference between a challenge and a workout is that a challenge just can run over several days, weeks, or even months.
Very cool.
So I'll pause right there and see if you have any questions.
I was going to say there's a question out here from Kevin, and you touched upon this briefly earlier, but I think maybe a deeper explanation. So Kevin said, how do you support customers with the business case for launching a wellness program and proving ROI? I know you'd mentioned about the claims data or maybe the reduction of health premiums. That's probably a longer term perspective. How would you position this to show ROI relatively quickly? And maybe that has to do a little bit with the pricing situation too.
Yeah, I mean, the way that we have our platform priced out, I mean, it would be like the return on investment is literally, I think we had it calculated to, it was additional 30 seconds a day in productivity based on some calculations that came from the Harvard Business Review article that we reviewed. I can share some more information on that after this demonstration.
Yeah, if you don't mind, maybe if you've got some stuff that you want to send back to me, I'll make sure it goes out to the TRC completely, and then, shall we say, surrounded with that question.
Yeah, I mean, we're all about proving a return on investment. It's just a matter of like our price point. Like, we're not coming in here charging an arm and a leg to use the system. We're priced at such a level. I'll get into pricing here in a minute. I want to get through the rest of the features before I talk about that. But that definitely it becomes a no-brainer at a certain point.
Gotcha. I'll make a very quick one. I did ask this question when you and I spoke, but I'll say it for Bonnie. Do you integrate with Fitbit, Apple, and other type of Nike apps and so on? And I know that's on your roadmap, so but I'll let you talk to that.
Yeah. So that is definitely wearable technology is where we're going. And I have a slide here on the presentation that where I talk about this. We wanted to make sure that we got the wellness management aspect taken care of first. There's a lot of challenges that come with wearable technology, meaning that Android watches calculate things a little bit differently than Apple watches, but we have a really good direction on where we're going with that and how we're going to solve the problems of keeping all that data similar. So we're definitely, we know that it would be easier to just have a wearable device integrate in with our system. But in the meantime, I'm about to go through the mobile view. We do have ways of taking screenshots of like Map My Ride or Map My Run, of your MyFitnessPal and other things to be associated with some of the results that these employees are going to be entering with the nutrition and with the workout content. So definitely is not a game stopper here. Like, we did provide the ability to show proof of certain activities.
Super, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go through here on the content library, which we briefly talked on. So a really a powerful thing that our software does is this idea of storing all of this workout, nutrition, and best self content to be reused again into the future. So if you're a wellness director or wellness coordinator creating your own content, you can create a workout once, and you can literally bring that workout back into the employee's experience, 3 months down the road. So it's storing everything. So if I come in and I do like a push-up workout, it's going to store that, and then we'll be able to bring that back together in the future. And I'll show you on the mobile view how awesome it is for the end users, because when they do these workouts, when they do it multiple times, they're able to track their results on it to show that they're getting better. The Wellness.Work library is where our nutritionist on staff and our fitness trainer on staff is going to be uploading content daily. So we see that we have 20 workouts here ready to go. You can literally go down and start by workout number 1 and just plug them in sequentially, or pick and choose whichever ones you want to do. Or if you find some workouts that are performing better than others, you can actually favorite them and then come back and by favoriting these type of workouts, you're able to see which ones were really successful over time and you're able to call these back up and say, okay, what was I want to do something that everybody loved and liked. Well, this is how you do that. You look at the analytics, the highest performing ones, you like them, and then you come back. And then over time, you're just constantly reposting workouts that everybody likes and enjoys. And that could be different from company to company. We just want to provide people the ability to do that. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the user management section. This really explains how you get people into the system, and as well as how do you manage people that are already in the system. How do you asked a question previous, Nov, on can you have multiple admins, and we're going to cover all that right now. It's super easy to get people into the Wellness.Work program. So after you sign up and register as a company, you get to come to this screen, and you can invite users by simply just entering in their email. Or you can, if you've got a list of company emails of like 200, 500, thousands of emails or whatever, you can upload a list of emails right here and click send invitation. So how this mechanism works is we work off of an active license program. We are not like other software companies that charge you for seats and it's up to you to put butts in the seats. So what happens is you send out an invite to a user. The user gets the invitation. It says, "Dear Bob, you've been invited to join ABC Co.'s account on Wellness.Work. Sign up now, fill out your information, click on accept invitation." So they click on the invitation, they register their personal account, they do username, password, some basic information, they set up their account, it prompts them to download the Wellness.Work app. When they open the Wellness.Work app, it gives them a username and password. As soon as they enter in the credentials that they created, they're automatically connected and considered as an active user in Wellness.Work. Okay, so this is the screen where you would see all the pending invitations, and this is the screen where you would see all the active licenses in the system. So the difference is you can invite as many people from your company as you want. We're only going to base our billing relationship off of the active users. So when we talk about pricing, our pricing has a starting package of $99 a month, and that is up to 100 users. That's our base package. If you're a small to medium-sized business, you get up to 100 users for that $99. That also covers the content that we've created, the fitness and nutrition content. That's all bundled in together. Once you exceed 100 users, it's just 99 cents an additional user from that point moving forward. And those are active licenses. So you can invite out 1,000 people, and you can have 900 people on your pending list, and have 100 people on your active list, and you're still just paying that $99 a month. Does that make sense, Nov?
It does to me. It certainly
Okay.
does. But I'll keep an eye open if there are any questions from the audience in terms of the pricing situation.
Okay, great. So this is really where you get to manage your users. You get to add admin permissions. You get to suspend, reset password. If you want to add admins to the system, you invite them like regular users, and you literally just come in and you click add admin permission. Boom, it makes them as an admin, and it actually does not count towards your active licenses. And admins can access the mobile app just like a regular end user to see the content that they're helping create. And from there, it just makes sense. And this would be your inactive list. So as you suspend users, you can see inactive. And I think that's about everything on this list here for the admin demo. So we went through the main dashboard, we went through the content management, we went through the library and how to manage users. I'm ready to convert over to the mobile phone to show what your employees will experience.
Right. I think that's where you'd ask me to transfer it over to the other Devin, right?
Correct. So
Okay.
while we do that, I see that we have a question here from Elise that's asking, can there be a weekly data feed to add and end users? I don't quite understand that question.
So I'll put it. Well, at least you could certainly speak to it if you want to just open up. But what we normally do we would feed an app like this from maybe an HR system or something like that. So maybe we have some brand new employees that
Yeah,
came in
that's
last
what I
week.
was asking,
Yeah.
Nov. And plus,
Yeah.
people come and go at companies, so you need to get rid of terminees and end date them. So I was just curious if there's a more automated way for larger companies.
So like taking in a CSV file from an HR system, and then maybe it's either a change or a delta of what was in the system versus here's a comparator. But that's kind of a normal process. I
Yeah.
don't know how you've addressed that internally for Wellness.Work.
So this is another great example of good feedback, right? So this would be a new feature idea for us. I haven't really heard this one before, but it's really cool. Right now, it would have to be a manual action of going in, finding the employee and terminating them. But if obviously, if we're working with a larger enterprise level account that has thousands of employees and there's an end date, we can easily, us being software developers, we can easily create a module that can say, okay, well, we're going to add this to the user management system, and there's going to be a module that's going to automatically set these users. It'll just be another CSV upload. What you said.
So I'll offer to you, Devin, as a thank you for doing this. Let you and I talk offline. There's a couple of ways in which to do that, but I think you definitely want to ensure that what you're doing is you're giving the client, if you will, the opportunity to do things. So let's say, for example, I could send you a file from my payroll system, but I may not include furloughed employees because we're no longer paying, or we're doing this or whatever. But you want to be able to control it. I want this app available to all my employees, whether I'm paying them or not, or like that. So you've got to look at a lot of different considerations. But for the large firms, that's exactly what you're going to need to do. Absolutely. Right. We'll have a conversation afterwards.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to go in, we're going to make sense of all this. So we went through the admin panel on how we implement this wellness program. Now we're going to go through what the employee will experience. This is a much simpler experience because we spent a lot of time on making sure there weren't distractions. We wanted to make sure our design was intuitive, it felt familiar, and we're putting in a lot of social media features that feel familiar. So we get to this screen when an employee, like I said, accepts the invite, registers their account, downloads the app, and logs in. This is the screen that they would see. You can see right at the top that we've got a workout challenge here that is pinned to the top. You can do several different types of challenges with workouts, nutrition. What we do is we pin the challenges to the top of the category that they are for, because obviously challenges are incentivized, and we want to get, if it's a weight loss challenge or if it's a step challenge, we want to make sure that we get mass participation. So we keep that top of the screen, top of mind. So I'm going to actually interact with this challenge here. And when I show you how we interact with one piece of content, that's going to explain how you interact with all the pieces of content, because it's very simple and straightforward. So I'm going to click on this challenge, and I can see the details. I can see the start date. I can see that it ends. It says 1 day left. Oh, and I can look at my own personal record here. So I submitted my results on 7/21, and I said that I did 1,080 steps. Now let's say this challenge was posted last year. This is where the personal records comes into play. If I'm an employee and I'm with a company that has Wellness.Work for several years, every time one of these fitness challenges comes back up, I can see my previous result, and now I have myself to beat in order to always beat my personal best to try to get better over time. So I can also look at I can log my steps. I can look at the leaderboard. I can see where I'm at in regards to this challenge. So I can see that, wow, I'm at 1,080 steps. David Mason's at 5,500. I'm in third place. I need to step it up. I can also click on David's result, and I can comment. I can like. I can, thumbs down on this result. I can add a comment, say, "Way to go, Dave! Way to get 5,500 steps." or I can, do friendly banter and say, what, did you, have your dog do half the steps for you or something like that, just joking around. Again, it's
tied the phone to a squirrel in the yard, right?
yeah, right. So it's just a matter of, like, again, creating that social community. It's a friendly competition, motivational environment. We see this over and over again. Guys who've worked with each other for 20 years, and they're razzing each other on the leaderboard. I mean, it's really creating a fun and engaging environment. So again, you can look here.
Do you mind, Devin, if I ask a very quick question? I think I mentioned the last time we spoke. Some people choose not to be on the leaderboard for whatever reasons. They're not competitive or don't want that. Can they opt out of it?
So the way that we have this is everybody operates under a username. So we do that to provide anonymity to the personal profile. So somebody can come in with a username and not put up their profile and participate under, like, privacy. Like, they don't have to show that they are, Kim from accounting. It could be, Pokemon 124 is,
right.
18th on the leaderboard, right? We've seen that happen where people are like, identify yourself. Like, there's like this dark knight that comes in and starts, winning all the fitness challenges, and nobody knows who it is, but the admins know who it is, like. So we want to provide that level of privacy and give people the opportunity to identify themselves on the platform. Either use their name, like me. I use my name for my username, or you can have something completely off the wall that's work appropriate, that gives you that privacy to interact and push yourself to, without the public spotlight.
Yeah.
So to say.
My username might be Sloth, but we'll just go from there.
You have to be Sloth too, because I'm Sloth 1. So.
Gotcha.
Okay. So another cool thing is divisions. So like we discussed, you can create workouts with different divisions. So now I can go and I can see on first shift there's nobody there, but on second shift, everybody on my second shift is first, second, third. And then you got third shift, there's one participant. But the idea is that you can segment the leaderboard around the divisions that you work in. So whatever your organizational hierarchy is as a company, you can create and have the liberty to create these workouts that are meaningful to the structure of your company. So I'll go back here and I'll show you how easy it is to log a record.
So the only thing, Dave, I'm sorry, we're about 4 minutes from the end of the hour. I'm very happy to just keep on going as long as people can, but do you mind, is it on your PowerPoint, the free trial situation? I wanted to make sure that people, if they wanted to take advantage, they could see that before. Do I need to transfer you back?
Yeah, you'll need to transfer me back, but really that's the gist of the mobile app. Is all the content that you go through here is all accessible via mobile app on one easy to understand daily screen. People can go back and forth, look at previous days, look at future days. I mean, it's very intuitive, very easy to understand. Employees log in and we get the feedback all the time that they know exactly what to do without instructions.
Yeah, we seem to know our phones very, very well. I wish we'd had them a long time ago. So I'm going to, let's see. Trying to figure out which one of these.
It's I just left the meeting, so if you go back to Devin.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes that a lot. You make my life a lot easier. Thank you. So does your app.
It's almost like we run a tech company over here, right? Like anytime we have email issues or something, it's like, are we really a tech company? Like, okay, let me get back to.
There we are. Perfect. Yeah, I want to make sure that people have a chance to see that before they have to dart off for meetings or whatever the case is.
Well, we covered this already in the demonstration due to the interaction that and the questions that we had from these amazing people watching and reviewing our software. So we're going into wearable technology. We're going to be unloading new features, all of that. So this is the base price. This is $99 a month. That, like it says, this includes up to 100 active licenses, only 99 cents per active license monthly thereafter. And this is the code for the Technology Review Council. TRC 30, and this gives you 30 days free. So if you go to Wellness.Work and you click on the sign up button, you'll just register your account. It will require you to put in a credit card because that's how our system works. But if you enter in this TRC 30, it won't charge your card for 30 days for the first month. And then if you like it, great, we're happy to have you. We want to help you grow. If you don't like it, just reach out to us with the contact information I'm going to have right here, and we'll be able to cancel the account. Hopefully we don't have to do that though. Hopefully you fall in love with Wellness.Work and you see how we can help you deploy a wellness program that helps your workforce become happier, healthier, and more productive. So that is the Wellness.Work demonstration. I'd like to point out that it's 2:59. I've got a minute left. So we kept it within
well, we can continue. I know that a lot of people they split their time up, and so an hour it comes and goes very quickly, and then they take off for others. But we'll stay here until everybody's ready to go, and no other questions. Are there any questions from the audience at all? Let me go back and check the chat, but I think you're very welcome to open up your speaker and ask anything you'd like at this point now, and certainly feedback. I know that Devin and group would very much appreciate your perspective on what you like, what you don't like. So, any comments from the audience or questions? Sometimes they're very respectfully quiet. So I'll give you my 2.5 cents. Remember, as I told you before, the advice you get is worth what you paid for it, and this is free advice. So, so anyway, I have to say I've seen a number of different platforms. I've seen wellness programs coming and going. As I mentioned earlier, things like this, call it a perk for better or worse, are becoming almost retention devices in their own right. People are saying, I'm getting uses. I work out every day. I've got a wellness program here. I've got communication tools that my employer gives me. I can get my advance on my paycheck based on so much hours I've worked, all those kind of things. I go to look for another job, and these are comparators. The one thing I would say, as you go forward with this, it would be important, I think, in some fashion, to be able to let the employer know that you can produce some statistics back. So, for example, total reward statements are hot these days again. Here's what the employer's been doing for you. I've been paying you Social Security taxes on it, state employment taxes, blah, blah. All the things that I've given you as an employee. These kind of things need to be included to those total rewards statements. It's kind of a reminder. I don't know exactly how an employer, but I would ask you, as you start talking with people and bring them as clients, those usually get produced at the end of the year type of thing as a reminder of what we've done for you all the year long. Thank you. 401k plans get included. So there are information that come from outside sources into these total reward statements. If we don't have that internal information, we get it from our vendors. You should be one of those vendors providing that back to your employee. We had X number population participating in these programs. And I'm just not sure exactly what they'd be looking for, but I think that the inclusion of this as a program offered by the employer is an important part of that. So that's number one. Number two, I think that certainly on the mobile, smart. End of sentence. I can do all of this stuff. I mean, we all assume that the mobile is a place to go, but I've seen some platforms that are still not mobile and are not natively mobile. So you've got some extensibility here. I think very quickly. The question asked about the wearables and so on. You've got it on your plans. I know for a fact that my phone and my watch do not agree on what my steps are. I don't know why, but to your point, I understand what you said. Nothing ever calculates the right way. So as a result of that, I think, as you work through that process, the fact that wearables are showing up in clothing as well as things like that, the idea of being active. There were books written a couple of years ago. One of them that has been an influence in my mind. Move a little, lose a lot, and that book really made it clear. And as we got more and more to an information society, they said sitting becomes the new smoking. We are shaving years off our lives just sitting here in front of our computers. Your application is a reminder in several ways. So even though I'm on the mobile, I may not look at my mobile very often. So my question to you is, can I push those mobile notifications to something to put it in front of me on my computer? That might be a very important thing to do. Because in other words, I'm sitting at the computer, I really need to be reminded, but it's my mobile that's reminding me that. It's my phone, and I'm not looking at my phone, I'm looking at my computer screen. So somehow you need to be able to connect with me in a place that I'm working to remind me to go over and use my phone and get some exercise. That's an observation. I don't know that anybody necessarily is going to think that way, but that's just my thinking. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense to you.
No, it does. And what I would say is that the notification system that we have, I mean, it is specifically tied to mobile. I mean, everybody is glued to their phones. It's the lifeline to business. It's, that's why we wanted to incorporate the ability for notifications to be a feature in our system so we can get to the top of mind. But there's also kind of a trade-off that you get with notifications because you don't want to bombard people with too many notifications. Like we see that all the time with, different social media apps or different fitness apps that have kind of, turned people's taste buds into a bad experience when they're getting bombarded to track their macros or track their steps or whatever over and over again. So that's why we wanted to leave it up to the wellness director to decide when it makes sense to send those out.
You might want to look at stuff. So I have a number of clients who, because of the work from home situation, have moved to, let's say, a communication collaboration suite like a Teams or something of that nature. And so if you're interfacing with a notification to the mobile, can that be translated to a notification to Teams, which will show up on my laptop as well? And the reason I say that again is my eyes are glued on this thing. If I didn't have a watch to remind me, or there used to be a little belt thing that used to sit on my belt that would buzz, and if I'm inactive for a while. This was years ago. Lots of different things. I've seen so many different types of technologies to address the wellness, but if you can kind of orient yourself to how people would see you and where they're going and what it means for me to stand up to remind me, that might be a big plus in its own right. To your point about the claims data and so on, I've always felt very strongly that the insurance companies could help us greatly, but they just don't seem to want to do that very well.
Right.
So as you're collecting this information, it would be interesting to be able to do some comparatives, let's say with the benefits manager and the CFO of your clients going, today you're paying this kind of stuff in premiums and catastrophic insurance claims. If you're self-funded, you're absorbing them. So those are the kind of things that would be meaningful to share with those kind of people and say, we are helping you make those dents, but we're seeing it in these areas. Maybe the activities from your own app are very important to hear, but the true impact is my health and my liability is lessening with my employer. That's a huge plus, but it'll be a while before you can start really doing that kind of stuff. But as you aggregate the data, you have some very good comparative data over time, and certainly across all of your clients. So you're on the right track for that one. I think the analytics are usually the hot stuff coming out of this.
Absolutely.
So that's like I said, the free advice. But I will certainly commit myself to sit and talk with yourself or whomever in your group about this idea of kind of a more automated feed. And we do this a lot with benefits insurance carriers, as an example. And Elise will probably be very happy to remember that I remember that conversation we had way back at Bank of America in the 70s or in the 80s. Yeah, that's how far we go back. The idea is I have a new population. I need to tell somebody about that. It's an application. So how do I do that? Do I give you the complete refresh of my whole population, which kind of destroys a little bit of what you're trying to do? Am I going to give you a delta? Here are the new people that came on. Here are the people we've gotten rid of. Now it's up to you to match it up with what you have in your population and either add or eliminate. And I think those are the kind of things we can walk through. It's usually something as limited or very small as an interface file and CSV file. Maybe it's even an API. you'd have to link in somewhere, and then the moment you do that, the problem is that you then have to figure out where the APIs are for all the different HR systems. Probably not a good idea. So probably having them push something out to you is an easier way to go. But you need to
Sure.
understand what that means. So I'm happy to help you through that process.
We appreciate any and all feedback. I mean, if anybody here wants to reach out just to talk about, collaboration or some type of, feature that would be valuable, we're very open to the conversation, and we're looking to establish mutually beneficial relationships across different sectors of this industry. So, I mean, I'm very appreciative and I'm very thankful to have the opportunity here to go over our product that we've spent the last year developing. And I'm very appreciative that you invited me, No. Thank you very much.
We enjoyed it. I personally did, and I think our crowd, who is still, in some cases, still here, which is very nice. I appreciate that as well. I do have one last observation, and I want to say it from the standpoint, marketing is all about being present out there in the web these days, probably more so than it ever has been. I think as you start working with your clients and start looking at some of the use cases and the successes of that, a question sits in the back of my mind, and it's kind of maybe you can tell from maybe the analytics. Do you think that forcing me to look at exercises versus my choosing those of what I want to do on a daily exercise is a better way to go? And the reason I ask that is because I know sometimes I respond better if my wife tells me go do this. Okay, then I go do it. Yeah. As opposed to, do I have a choice to do it? I don't think I want to do that today. But the question is then, is the exercise given to me today that I should be performing is not one that I really like. But there was an exercise in your library that I would be happy to do every day. So the question is it kind of giving them a framework to work in, or do you give choices? Or do I have that ability to give you that latitude? Choose one. You must push one today, either the one we gave you or one that from the library or something like that.
Right. So right now we have it being fed into the daily feed by the administrator.
Right.
We don't have the ability for somebody to select what workout that they want to do. I mean, they could go back in time, go back, click the left arrow button on their app to look at a workout that they previously did or a workout that they favorited. But the psychology behind just showing up, like just showing up and getting in the app and not having to think, because that's where a lot of people fail in fitness, is they don't know the movements. They don't know what to do. Like, can't tell you how many, I have a friend that works at a gym. They're like, so many people just show up and they don't know what to do, and they stop. They get.
That's why personal trainers exist.
Yeah, I mean, so
exactly.
There's value, and there's science behind workout 1, 2, 3, 4, why it's being done sequentially. Like our trainer is hitting certain body groups every other day, and so there is a science behind doing the workouts sequentially in the system. So there is it's a good feeling just showing up, not really having to think, just saying, you know what, I just need to commit to doing it one day at a time, looking at it, taking the value from that, completing my workout, doing the nutrition, and listening to the best self so I can become a happier and healthier, productive member of my workforce.
Yeah, and I think you'd mentioned that it's really kind of incumbent upon the admin to send out those invitations as well. Is that a reminder system too, as an admin? If I haven't seen you've been doing things, should I reach out to you through an email or whatever and say, hey, Devin, we haven't seen you in the app for a week. Is everything okay, or something of that nature?
I mean, yeah, that could be the wellness liaison or the wellness coordinator can definitely look at the participants in each of the workouts and deduce their own observations of who's participating, who's not. So they can, right now, there's going to be a lot of liberty as to how a coordinator or somebody that's going to administer this wellness program, how they manage it. We're giving them the tool and the vehicle for them to make those decisions and run with it how they see fit.
Exactly. Well, needless to say, again, thank you extremely. I enjoyed the heck out of this one. You did a great job presenting. I think the crowd was entertained. I will make sure that when this is wrapped up and put out on the YouTube, I will send this out to everybody in the TRC because of your offer. I just want it to be in people's hands maybe by Monday morning, and hopefully, I do hope you get a lot of people signing up. I know I'm going to be there, and see how that all works. Again, thank you all very much. My offer stands. You tell me when you want to get together on this interface stuff, and we'll try to make it happen.
Well, that sounds great.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Dave.
Take care, everyone. Stay well. Thank you for your help. Bye.